Hi everyone. We love having boat guests. It's such a wonderful way to share with our friends and family this amazing lifestyle that we have. Living on a boat, as you can imagine, is very different than living in a home. We used to go and charter boats with our friends and family.
And it's one thing when you all get together and charter a boat. It's another thing when you visit somebody on their floating home.
Frankly, the difference is it wasn't our boat. We can care less what people did on the other side of it. But when it's your home, that's a whole different story. So we decided to put a video together for our boat guests to show what the rules are and the best way to enjoy yourself while keeping our home safe and you safe and secure. For example, if you came to visit us in our home and I gave you a half an hour discussion on how to open and close a refrigerator, how to turn the faucet on, and how to flush a toilet, you'd be like, yeah, we forgot, we left the stove on and we have to go home, so we're out of here. So that's an example, right? It's very different living on a boat than living in a home.
We love our guests and we've learned a lot of lessons about how everybody can stay happy and safe on the boat.
And we can all maintain our sanity.
And still like each other.
And still like each other when it's done.
And luckily we do. Luckily
yes.
We still love every guest who's ever come on board. And they're all welcome back. So here are just some things, some lessons that we've learned on our boat. And of course, if you go visit someone on a different boat, the lessons on their boat might be different.
It's terrible that we have rules, but unfortunately we need to have rules to maintain the safety of the boat and everyone on the boat, right, and our sanity. So, rule 1, don't fall off the boat.
Man, I gotta take a leak. Hey look, dolphins!
That's your most important job as a guest. Don't fall off.
Dolphins! Dolphins!
If you come visit in our house and you fall off the back porch, you might skin your knee. If you fall off the back porch of our boat, you're probably gonna die. And we don't want you to die.
No, don't say that. There's a chance we'll get you back.
There's a chance we're gonna get you, but look, if we're heading to a different island and we really want to get there and you fall off the back of the boat, we're probably just gonna leave. We're probably not gonna get you. Nah, we'll get them. Because there's probably a ton of paperwork to do. Don't fall off the back of the boat, in all seriousness. Don't fall off the boat at all. It's the most dangerous thing that can happen on a boat. There's a really good chance if there's bad seas or bad weather or bad visibility that we really can't get you back and you will die. So don't mean to scare anybody, but number 1 rule, don't fall off the boat. And what that means is when you're walking, like on the side of the boat, always have 3 points of contact on the boat. It's like rock climbing. 2 arms and a leg, or 2 legs and an arm.
Oh hey, I'm gonna eat breakfast out front today.
Don't walk down the side of the boat holding your camera and your Yeti and your iPad.
And your cereal bowl.
And your cereal bowl.
Whatever.
Just, don't do it.
Crumbs.
Crumbs.
Crumbs are a problem. In your home, somebody makes a sandwich and they leave some crumbs on the counter, and that happens over and over again. And then you see a couple of ants and you see maybe some silverfish or some other bugs and you call the exterminator and boom, your problem's gone. On a boat, that's not possible. Once the boat gets an infestation of bugs, it's almost impossible. You have to clean all of your food out of the boat. You have to bomb the entire thing. You have to clean everything out. It's almost like getting your home tented. So crumbs are a problem. When you're cooking or eating or preparing any kind of food, make sure that you do it in a place where you can clean up and then clean up. See crumbs? Wipe them up. Look for crumbs. If you're eating cookies, don't walk through the boat while you're eating cookies or granola bars or something like that, because that drops crumbs everywhere. And people step on them when they walk through the boat and they track them into cabins. It's impossible. So, no crumbs on the boat. I know I'm very guilty of this in my land-based home, as I'm sure most people are, but when you kind of want a snack or you're kind of hungry and you just don't really know what you want, you open the refrigerator door and you're looking around and you just just don't see anything you want, you close it, and you come back 5 minutes later hoping that something has moved or something has suddenly appeared. You cannot do that in a marine refrigerator. We don't have that luxury.
Hey Pam, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, I'm hungry for something and I don't know what it is.
The minute you open the refrigerator door, all of the humid air gets sucked into the refrigerator and hence up into the freezer because it's all one unit. Ice forms everywhere in the freezer. And then next time you open the refrigerator, the ice starts to melt and it drips down into your refrigerator. So now you've got a huge clump of ice on the top of your freezer and you can't open the door, and you've seen that before in our videos. And on top of that, all the food in the refrigerator is wet. So if you're a guest on someone else's boat and you want something out of the refrigerator, ask the chef or the stew or the owner of the boat, whoever's doing most of the cooking. Ask that person, you know, where is this? Do you have this? And let that person get it. On our boat, it's me, because I know what's in the refrigerator and I know exactly where it is. So don't go shopping in the refrigerator.
So another challenge we have of living on our boat in a foreign country is provisioning. There's not a grocery store around the bend everywhere we go. It's hard to get stuff.
Potato chips especially.
Yes, it's hard to get potato chips.
They're expensive.
Just be cognizant of the fact that when you're visiting and we open a bag of potato chips, we might not be able to get potato chips for like another 3 weeks. So don't just sit there and scarf down the entire bag of potato chips.
And don't kill all the booze.
Adrian, you're almost out of vodka.
Sometimes it's really hard to get booze, or it's ridiculously expensive to get booze. So it's different than living in your home, where again you can run to Publix and pick up a case of beer for $20. It doesn't work that way, like in the Bahamas and the Caribbean, for example. So please be cognizant of the fact that it's hard to get things on a boat. It's hard to provision a boat. So just don't. You have to think differently than if you're in someone's home. Adrian, I ask you to do something. That's great, you know, and that's fun. But if you don't know how to do it, let us know. Okay, so you know how to tie the line up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's tie up to that cleat over there.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
A lot of times we'll take things for granted. Someone's been on a boat a bunch of times before. We know they know how to tie a line. And if you don't know how to do it, just tell us, okay? Don't just wing it and do something wrong. And if we ask you to do something and you don't know how to do it, just say, I know how to do that, which is totally fine. We'll figure out something else for you to do. But that could cause a lot of problems. We'll leave it at that.
Okay, and another thing for those guests who are boat owners or boaters, you might come across something on our boat that you think, oh, I don't do it that way on my boat, and you'll change it to how you do it on your boat. And that's really not okay. Not all boats are the same. Not everybody does things the same. Not everybody ties things the same. And if you do things on your boat one way and then you think it's better to do it on our boat, we can certainly have a conversation about that, because maybe there's something that we don't know. But don't change the way we've done something to the way you typically do it without telling us.
We love learning stuff.
No, all the time.
So if there's a different way to tie a knot or a different way to do something, great, let us know, and we would love to.
Yeah, we'll talk about it for sure.
We always tell people, no sand on the boat. It's really bad for the systems in the boat. If it gets in the bilges, it can ruin the bilge pumps, for example. You can never get sand out of a boat. It's really difficult.
It sticks to the caulking and the seams in the floor, and it's impossible to get rid of it.
We store a lot of our food in the floor. So if you walk in the boat and you're dumping dirt and sand on the floor, that's getting on our food store as well. So sand is very, very bad for a boat. Salt is very bad for the boat. So when you get out of the water, rinse off, don't track salt through the boat either. It starts corroding things, all the metal starts corroding. When you get on the boat, we have a shower in the back hose off, rinse off, get the towels out, then you're more than welcome to come in. We call this the mic rule. I'm not gonna...
One of the mic rules.
It's one of the mic rules. Don't stomp on the boat. Don't be a stomper. The boat is made of fiberglass. Your home is not made of Your home is not made of fiberglass. Which means when you walk around your house, people don't really hear you. It's wood or ceramic tile or whatever. When you walk around on deck and someone's below in the cabins, they hear you. It's very loud. Try to walk softly on the boat. What's worse than a stomper is a stomper at 6 in the morning. Don't be a 6 in the morning stomper. Meaning, don't walk around the boat stomping around while people are sleeping.
Hey, what y'all doing down there?
What are you doing at 6 in the morning?
I want to see the sunrise, and I don't know which way it is.
I think it's in the east.
Which way's east? That way?
I think it's that way.
Okay. Nice seeing you guys. She's pretty.
We have friends, and one of their rules is no one's to leave their cabin at 8:30. Until 8:30. We're not going to do that, but please respect other. If you're coming on the boat, respect everybody on the boat, and don't walk around over their cabins in the morning. Don't get on the phone and start talking really loud, or even talking at all, because everything is fiberglass and it goes right through. So it's very, very easy to wake people up on the boat. So try not to be a stomper.
But also, speaking of the phone, understand your proximity where you are in the boat. You leave your cabin and you want to get on the phone and you say, well, I'll just go outside. But you'll inevitably end up sitting down outside right next to someone else's open hatch, and they're sleeping right there. And you may not think about that, but don't do that.
Yeah, so if you go outside and you're going to talk on the phone, do it on your side over your own cabin.
Right.
Right?
Wi-Fi is another, I guess it's a resource. Everybody, you seem to not be able to live without it. And we do have Wi-Fi on the boat, but not all the time. It depends on where we are in the world. It depends on the island and the cell service.
What? I just downloaded a couple movies, and I guess it did the whole cloud backup thing last night while I was sleeping. But that shouldn't have used that much data. I wouldn't think.
A lot of times people's phones will do updates in the middle of the night, or their computers will just do some sort of an upload or backup or something, and boom, before you know it, all of our Wi-Fi for the month is gone, and we rely on that to get weather updates and things like that.
Don't be a flat surfacer.
What is a flat surfacer?
Yeah, I was about to tell you.
Okay.
A flat surfacer is someone who leaves all their stuff all over the boat.
On any flat surface.
On any flat surface. We don't have a lot of flat surfaces on our boat. In a home, you've got a shit ton of flat surfaces. You got big countertops and spaces to drop things. The boat, we don't have that much. We have a small little area, so
iPad and
your
books.
iPad and your books, don't drop them on all the flat surfaces, because pretty soon there's no room to put anything. It gets really chaotic. Boats are small. It's hard to control that, so don't be a flat surface.
And while we're on the subject of dropping things wherever you see fit, be careful with wet towels and wet clothing. If it's a swimming suit, for example, rinse it off while you're taking a shower and then hang it up outside. Hang up your towels. Don't leave wet clothes lying around, because it can be damaging to floor surfaces, and it can be damaging to soft surfaces like seat cushions and things like that.
Living on a boat is extremely humid,
Totally.
so just having wet stuff lying around, it gets moldy really fast, and it's hard to dry stuff, so
Hang it up.
hang it up, baby. The toilets on a boat are very loud. It macerates whatever's in there. If it's late at night and you have to pee,
Or the middle of the night and you have to pee.
Isn't that late at night?
No, because late at night is like 11.
Okay. Just pee and then flush it in the morning. When you flush it at night, you wake people up on your side of the boat. Try not to flush the toilet at night unless you really have to. You might think, okay, I'll just go outside and pee. It's very dangerous. They found more drowned sailors in the ocean with their fly open or their pants down because you fall off the boat while you're peeing.
Don't do that.
Girls, not so much. But that's happened too. Ask John Kreshmer. That happened to a girl.
That's right, it did happen
Right.
to John Kreshmer.
So don't wake up in the 2 in the morning and go out and pee out off the back of the boat either. If you fall off, if it's windy, no one's going to hear you. And if you fall off and you hit your head, and there's a current, you're gone. No one's going to hear you, and we're never going to find you again. And that's going to be very awkward, and it's going to ruin the rest of everybody else's trip if you're dead. So don't pee off the back of the boat at 2 in the morning either.
If you happen to be walking around on deck, an open hatch is not an invitation to look inside and see what's going on down there. You might be surprised, and you might surprise somebody else.
Right.
And it can be creepy, so don't do that.
We call this the Mark rule. My brother-in-law Mark saw me naked twice by looking him down.
Twice in 5 minutes.
Twice. The first time was an accident. I'm not so sure about the second time, but that's a whole different story. Water and electricity. Both are resources that are much harder to obtain on a boat than they are in your house. In your house, everything is hooked up to plumbing and electric cables. You can use as much of it as you want. It doesn't work that way on a boat. Even though we have quite a few batteries, it's hard to make electricity. We get it from the sun, and when we run the generator, we have to burn diesel, and it's expensive, and it's loud, and no one wants to have a smoker. We call it a smoker from Waterworld. No one wants to be a smoker. We don't want to have to constantly make electricity and generate electricity and put it into the batteries. So, unplug things, turn your lights off. You can charge stuff during the day, but at night, try to keep everything off. Avoid using electricity. Same thing with water. We have to turn the generator on to make water. It's loud. It takes
Wind therapy, Aurora.
We take marine showers, which means we get ourselves wet, turn the shower off, soap up, do everything you need to do, then turn the water back on and then rinse off. So we want to try to avoid using water. Doing dishes is, everyone has a different way of doing dishes on the boat.
Don't help me do the dishes.
Right, Adrian just would rather do the dishes herself than have someone turn the water on and let it run for half an hour and waste the water.
Same thing with brushing your teeth. You don't need to run it full blast, and don't leave it running while you're brushing your teeth. Try to have a good sense of situational awareness. Know where you are on the boat, know where other people are on the boat, and know what's happening around you. All too often, somebody will just be standing in a doorway, enjoying the view or enjoying the breeze, and something's happening while we're sailing and we need to get past them and they're just in the way. Just kind of make sure that you know what's going on around you. If you're going to bury your nose in a book or your iPad or whatever it is, take a seat, stay out of the way, don't leave your feet in the aisles.
The boat is small, there's not a lot of room. There's only a couple of doorways, so don't just like hang out in the doorway, for example.
And don't put your feet across the doorway.
Sailing is pretty easy, but it's also not. So it's kind of difficult and it's dangerous, right? So
it takes a lot of concentration.
Be observant of what's happening around us, and if it looks like I'm focused on concentrating on something, then just don't distract me or Adrian or me.
No, you said it right.
Oh,
don't distract either one of us. If we're actively engaged in something, or if we've got a problem with something that's happening and you really have no idea how to fix it, sometimes it can be more distracting to just throw ideas out there than to just let us figure it out. So kind of be aware of that.
Right, but distracting the captain could be very dangerous. So again, if we're in the middle of doing something,
docking
specifically, don't come up and start having a conversation with me while I'm backing the boat into a marina.
Right, don't do that.
Dolphins!
So we had a lot of fun making the video and all the different characters. We thank everyone for participating and being the bad boat guest. There really are no bad boat guests, so we don't want to scare everybody. But we had a good time making the video and doing all the different reenactments. So thank you for watching.
Be a good boat guest and ensure that you get that second invitation
Back.
to come back.
Bye. Have a great day, everybody.